Do you think the Giants made a good decision in drafting Barkley, or you think they should have went with Sam Darnold?
I think they did because, like, all right, so let's think about it like this. If we're saying the issue that the Giants are having is based off their poor offensive lineman play, then what difference would it make if you're putting a younger quarterback behind that offensive line if it's just as poor? I think if you look at the first few games that Barkley has played, I think it's just amazing how much talent this kid has in terms of being able to create for himself. You look at a couple of plays where he's been able to kind of break on the outside and just kind of just take it to the house. I think it just shows tremendous ability on this kid to really just perform at a high level, right? And if you think about it, they even give him anything, any semblance of an offensive line, if they were just able to get a couple of bodies that can just hold a block off for a few seconds, this guy's going to be lethal. And I do think it was the right decision because honestly, there's not going to be a young quarterback that's going to be able to play behind this line any better than Eli's playing right now. It's just really not. And it wouldn't be fair to throw a young quarterback back there, say, you know what, kid, go ahead and save us. So, yes, it is the right decision. There wasn't somebody there that I can say, like, I wish we would have got this player. Sure, would I have loved to see another offensive line player come in? Absolutely. But again, there wasn't somebody not that high. Exactly.
Not that high. We're on the same page because there's going to be other quarterbacks besides Darnold. So we're on the same page there. And Barkley, he is so can't miss. Yeah. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. And you touch right on it. Imagine if he had a legit offensive. Imagine him behind the Dallas offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
could
absolutely.
You imagine this guy would average 6 and 7 yards a carry?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it would be insane. His balance is amazing. His speed, his breakaway ability. Just for him to kind of take another hit and just keep on his feet, man. It's just it's a fun thing to watch. His catching ability. I don't think they raved enough about this kid. Honestly, I think he's got talent to be obviously, like I said, Hall of Famer, one of the best to play the running back positions.
I was all in favor of when you draft that high, you got to go quarterback or trade down. But people kept telling me, Barkley, you don't understand. And I don't watch college football like that. Mm-hmm. You know, I pay attention before the draft to the players, the high, top players, but you can't watch everything. That's the thing, I watch NBA, MLB, UFC, Bellator. I watch WWE. I'm missing a couple more sports that I watch.
This is not enough time, right? It's
not enough time, and you're gonna see these players. I mean, the other thing is, how many people do they rave about that come out like Peter Warwick? I heard so much, he's going to be the greatest wide receiver known to man. And they come out, they don't do anything. What about, so it's like, you really can't always judge. If you see an Andrew Luck, if you see a Sam Darnold, which I was so high on, that these guys are going to be something. Remember Steve Slayton, I think his name was, from Michigan? Remember that guy? He didn't. He only fumbled like once in college entirely, and then he got drafted. He went to the NFL. He went to the Texans, and I think another team.
I think I do remember. Yeah. Okay.
And he fumbled like a few times, and then you never heard from the guy again. It's like it's hard to So I just look at the top players and do college basketball. I'm getting more into now, especially I watch the tournament every year, but I don't really see stuff. So I looked at the highlights of Barkley. And I said, you know what? I love just what you mentioned, his catching ability, particularly 15 and 20 yards downfield, where he's just taking it and moving. And I said, whoa, we thought Shane Vereen was something. Mm-hmm. We thought a couple other players, we thought LaDainian Tomlinson was something
different.
Man,
just different.
Perfect for this offense. Yeah. So that's why I was all in favor, and I changed and went to Barkley.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, you mentioned it as well too, and I think the difference is that with like LT and some of the other pass catching running backs in the past, They were really just like guys that they were just dumping the ball off to. There's been several instances where Barkley has did some impressive route running, and even you remember probably 3 weeks ago where he kind of jumps up, catches a ball over the cornerback, and just perfect catch with his hands in the air and lands perfectly. It's like a 20-yard, 25-yard pass, and it's just like, man, like there's not. I mean, again, there's not a lot of run backs that can make that play. There's not a lot of wide receivers that could have probably made that play over the cornerback. So it's just he's talented, he's strong, he's smart, he's humble. And I think I like his overall influence on OBJ because I think at the end of the day, like Barkley's the kind of player that will excel in this New York City market. We really like players that, I mean, we like a little bit of flash, but we really like button up players. We like corporate, we like Wall Street players, right? We think about the players who really excel in these markets, right? A Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter wasn't getting caught up in mess, right? But he was also known for somebody as like being very personable, good-looking guy. Somebody's going to be able to handle himself in a boardroom meeting and just in all different various facets of life. And I just think about Barkley's kind of the same player, man. If he keeps his head straight, he's not going to be this like prima donna. It's like sitting. He's not. He's like the anti-OBJ. And I just think that he excels in this role, and he's going to excel being the face of the franchise in a few years. And where hopefully they can kind of get some semblance of a quarterback to play after Eli is going to have to retire in a few years, right?